Anya Voss had learned long ago that being a black woman in Crestwood meant you were always on someone's list, though they'd never admit it. The cashier's too sweet, have a nice day, after checking her ID twice. The parents who suddenly stopped talking when she walked Lily to school. The polite smiles that cooled once they realized she owned her house. But on that late afternoon, none of it was on her mind. She was still in her pale blue nurse's uniform, hair neatly pinned, coaxing the scent of roasted chicken and broccoli through her small, warm kitchen. Lily's laughter floated in from the yard, her tight blue curls bouncing as she chased a ball over patchy grass. Inside, the shelves held family photos and Lily's marker drawings, proof she'd built something here, brick by brick, in a neighborhood that didn't think she should. After the divorce, she'd sworn to defend this fragile piece. The knock shattered it. Low, firm, the kind of knock that didn't ask. It announced. She froze, spoon slipping into the pot. It wasn't the mailman. The clock read 6:14. Her gut tightened. The knock came again, harder now, the sound carrying a weight she'd heard in other voices that told her to go back where you came from. "Mommy, someone's at the door," Lily called, her voice uncertain. Anya wiped her hands, forced a smile she didn't feel. "Stay here, baby." Her palm lingered on Lily's shoulder, a warning without words. Through the frosted glass, a tall man in a dark blue uniform. Shaved head, broad shoulders. Police, or at least the patch said so. No patrol car in sight. She peered through the peephole. His eyes were flat, cold. The badge read Callahan, but she didn't know him. "Excuse me, can I help you?" "Open up." "Police. Anyone home?" It wasn't a question. Lily edged closer. Anya knelt. "Go to your room." The girl shook her head. The third knock was no knock. It was a dry, punishing blow to the frame, echoing through her chest. Her phone sounded on the coffee table, a lifetime away. The man tilted his head, listening like a hunter. Her instincts, those that trusted a pulse, a breath, a tone, told her this wasn't routine. "Sir, can you show me your badge?" He didn't answer. The doorknob twisted. Then, thud, his fist hit the glass, the vibration crawling up her arm. Lily's fingers dug in her shirt. "You people never learn," he said, voice low, each word a blade. The air thickened. She reached for the phone. He stepped back, then slammed something against the glass near the lock. Fractures bloomed like ice spreading. Lily screamed, "Stop!" Anya shouted, but his arm punched through, fumbling for the lock with practice speed. She shoved Lily toward the hallway, planting herself before the breach. The lock gave. The door creaked open, night air spilling inside, damp and sharp. He stood there, baton in hand, gaze sweeping over her as if she were already removed. "You can't come in here," she said. His smile was thin, crooked. "Lady, people like you don't tell me what I can do." Lily peeked from the hallway. His eyes flicked toward her, then back. "I told you to open up," he said, quieter now, but colder. Anya stepped back just enough to shield Lily. "You need to leave." He chuckled under his breath. The baton lifted slightly. The open door let in the cool night, the smell of rain mingling with dinner. An absurd reminder of what was at stake, that he stepped in fully and kicked the door shut. The latch clicked, final and sharp. The kitchen light pooled at Anya's feet like a spotlight. His shadow swallowed the family photos. Lily's breathing quickened, Anya's pulse pounded in her ears. She locked her gaze on his, searching for hesitation. There was none. The baton hovered. The room seemed to shrink. "Mommy," Lily whispered. Anya swallowed. She had seconds, maybe less. The man shifted his stance. Anya didn't break eye contact. Her body was tense, but her mind was already sharpening. She understood what this was now. It wasn't just a break-in. It was a message. Reed stepped forward with the slow, arrogant rhythm of someone certain the space already belonged to him. His boots pressed into the hardwood like a claim, as though each step erased her right to be there. His gaze swept over the framed photos of her and Lily, her college diploma, the worn couch, items he didn't see as possessions, only proof that someone like her had dared to settle here. He brushed a hand over the coffee table, then with deliberate force sent a family photo crashing to the floor. Glass splintered in a sound that seemed far too loud in the stillness. Lily gasped from the hallway. Anya moved instantly, blocking her daughter's view. Reed's mouth twisted, not into a smile, but into something uglier, a satisfaction at seeing fear bloom. He tipped over a vase, letting water and lilies spill across the table. The sweet floral scent was swallowed by the sharp tang of his sweat and leather. "What you doing?" Anya demanded, her voice low but edged with steel. He muttered something about people who come where they're not wanted, about how things used to be before. The words were thick with venom, dragging the air down with them. He yanked open the coat closet, tossing jackets, scarves, and shoes to the floor. Lily's bright yellow rain boots landed at Anya's feet. He kicked them aside with casual contempt. "You need to leave," she said, firmer this time. Reed exhaled sharply, the kind of laugh that wasn't laughter at all. Her voice, to him, was nothing more than background noise. He began pulling open drawers, dumping utensils, envelopes, and trinkets onto the floor, the metallic clangs like small explosions. Anya's mind spun. Call for help and risk triggering him? Try to grab the phone without him noticing? Or hold still and let him finish whatever he thought he was doing? None of those options felt safe. "Stop." Her voice cracked the air. He looked at her, his expression flat, his eyes cold. Eyes that didn't see a neighbor, a mother, a nurse, but an intruder in her own home. Lily remained frozen in the hallway shadow, her curls trembling as much as her small hands. The smell of wet flowers mixed with the metallic taste of Anya's fear. Reed stepped to the center of the room, scanning the chaos like an artist inspecting his work. The baton in his hand tightened. The shift from destroying objects to hurting people felt only one breath away. When his eyes drifted toward the hallway, toward Lily, Anya reacted instantly, planting herself in his path. "Don't you go near her," she said, her voice ringing louder than she expected. He stopped just short, close enough for her to see the small twitch in his jaw, the bead of sweat tracing his temple. His gaze flicked past her shoulder, measuring how fast he could get to the girl. Then, slowly, he stepped back. The relief that came was thin, fragile. He wasn't done. She could feel it in the air, thick, charged, waiting. Outside, Crestwood's neat lawns and trimmed hedges held their quiet. No neighbors, no footsteps, no help. Reed began to circle, the baton swinging loosely. "This neighborhood used to be different," he said, voice slow and deliberate. "Better, cleaner, safer." He let the word safer hang, its meaning pointed, until people started moving in who didn't belong. His eyes locked on her skin, her hair, the curve of her mouth. "Until you." The words hit harder than the crash of the picture frame had. Not because they were new. She'd heard versions of them whispered at the grocery store, in PDA meetings, in the brittle smiles of strangers, but because they were now wrapped in the thread of force. "You're in my house," she said, the words a steady blade. "And you need to get out." He tilted his head, studying her like she was an equation that didn't solve the way he wanted. Then his gaze landed on the phone on the coffee table. Anya moved before he did. She snatched it up, stepping back toward the kitchen. His eyes narrowed. "Put it down." She didn't. Her thumb pressed the screen, the sound of her own heartbeat roaring in her ears that he closed the distance in 2 long strides. The shadow of his body covered her. The baton twitched upward. The phone rang once. Twice. 911. "What's your—" The rest was lost as his hand slammed the phone away, sending it spinning across the floor. They stood in the heavy silence, the air between them charged, dangerous. "Mommy." Lily's small voice floated from the hallway to Reed's head, shifted at the sound, eyes narrowing in a way that made Anya's blood run cold. She stepped forward, blocking his view. "You touch her," she said evenly, "and you'll regret it." Something flickered across his face. Uncertainty, maybe. The baton dipped, just a fraction. Then headlights swept across the front window. A car door slammed outside. Reed's gaze snapped toward the sound. Anya moved. She scooped the phone from the floor, sprinted to the door, and yanked it open. Cool night air rushed in. "Help!" she shouted into the darkness. Reed froze, his confidence cracking just enough for her to see the man underneath, the one who needed shadows to be powerful. Another car door opened. Footsteps approached. Reed stepped back, then again, retreating toward the kitchen. His last look at her wasn't rage. It was the cold promise that this wasn't over. But for tonight it was. Anya slammed the door and locked it, her hands shaking. She dropped to her knees, wrapping Lily in her arms. The smell of rain mixed with the fading scent of dinner, and she realized she was still standing in her pale blue uniform, still in the home she'd built brick by brick, and she would never, not for anyone, give it up.